Well, regulation was over.
Regulation was over.
Or the game was over.
But you seen
the game was over. That was
no.
The game was
regulation
over.
was over. But LeBron's face at that moment, at the end of the day, let me put this out there. He's human. He's human. He has a human reaction. I cannot take that away from him at that moment in time. The automatic reaction. Oh my goodness, are you serious? But I need you to snap back to it real quick. No. I need you to snap back to it. You have a whole nother 5 minutes.
That you know you wasn't going to win.
You can't say that.
You do.
Because everybody thought they didn't have a chance to win game one, but they were in it. You're putting up one of the best finals game in history. Mm-hmm. Okay, you know what? Let me get back to it. I understand, yes, this happened. But LeBron didn't shoot in overtime until after almost 3 minutes.
Right. Right.
He was gone. He checked out.
I think
he literally checked out.
And I think that like the human part of him is saying, like, I'm gonna say yes, that play cost him the game. I'm gonna say yes because you know that you're on the road in the NBA Finals, let alone you're on the road.
Okay.
But you're on the road in the postseason in the NBA Finals game one. You know that this can shape the entire finals, right?
This game.
Mm-hmm. You know that even if he misses the free throw, right? The fact that you had a chance, if you call timeout, you have a chance to draw something up, your spirits are still like, you know what? All right, cool. We didn't, even if you don't score, you're like, yo, we still got a chance. Like we giving them their best shot. It's very hard to like, you just caught up in the emotions of it, and you just like, I need to snap back in. Like, I got 51-9 right now, and nobody like. What else do you want me to do?
Let me ask you.
You want me to call timeout also?
Let me ask you.
I agree. He should have checked back in. I agree with
All
you.
right.
I agree.
That's
but my whole thing is, where's every like?
I see the thing that I have a problem with is because you're saying, okay, that game that play cost them the game.
That play cost them.
But they had a whole nother 5 minutes.
They just the momentum had
what
shifted.
Momentum? There was no momentum. Who had a stellar game one for the Golden State Warriors? Nobody.
But my whole thing is the momentum shifted in terms of Golden State because Golden State is like, yo, they had a chance to. It's almost like we had a chance. We should have lost that game. And realistically,
we should have lost the game.
And they giving us an extra 5 minutes in our arena. Come on.
Now let me ask you something.
Right.
If you're LeBron, that just happened. But you have 51-9-9. They have not been able to guard you for 4 quarters at all. KD wanted no parts. Draymond couldn't do anything with you. Iguodala was on the bench with a suit. Nobody. Livingston too small. Nobody can do anything with you. Right. Let me give you 5 more minutes. He checked out. Like they had no shot because of their leader checking out. You know what a Michael Jordan would have did at that moment in time? What do you think? Because at the end of the day, we can't say what he would have done. But just your mentality of what you've seen growing up, that man, what do you think at that moment in time he would have did coming out the gate in overtime?
I think he'd have been more aggressive. However, it's hard to say that. Like I don't really like this question. I don't like this question because one, I don't think Mike would have ever been in that situation.
All right, but we can't.
And even if he was in that situation, I'm not sure how Mike would have responded because, like I said, I'm not sure how Mike would respond against a team. And we're jumping the gun here, but we're gonna talk about this a little later. I'm not sure Mike has ever faced a team of this caliber.
No, but I understand that. But at the end of the day, the mentality is what we're speaking of. We can't speak on he's never did this, he never did this. Put him in that same situation. Put Kobe Bryant in that mindset of okay. We had a chance to win this game, right? This team was not shooting the best. They're better than us. Point blank, top to bottom, team-wise. They're giving me another shot with 5 minutes left. It's going to be a long shot. But what am I going to do? I'm going to go down guns blazing. Guns blazing. LeBron did not shoot a shot for the first 3 minutes of overtime. He checked out. And what the team moves as he moves.
No, I agree with you. And it's very, very unfair because I'm not sure how many superstars have ever been faced in a situation like that to compare it to. You know, we're going off the hypothetical. Like, name a situation where a superstar has been in that situation before in the finals on the road, like in that particular situation.
I mean, I don't think
So it's
be
hard
down.
so it's hard to compare like what our other superstars that we consider the greatest of all time would do, because that situation we've never seen the situation.
What we've known
like
mentalities, we've seen mentalities, we've seen different ways of aggression with different superstars, different greats.
Right, but we've also seen him check out before too.
Who?
LeBron.
Exactly my point.
We've seen him check out before.
We've seen this. So listen,
he's been checking. I think he checked out at least 3 times in the Boston series. He checked out. And still find a way to just like, all right, I'm a will, but
this ain't the Boston Celtics.
This is arguably the greatest team of all time. So what do the Cavs have to do to even this series?
Well, I think they're on the right track. I don't think they are going to, but I think they're on the right track of what Tyronn Lue's trying to do.
Why? Because the time zone
Play?
changed?
No. They're home.
That's why.
One.
That's the only track they're on. That's why.
No.
Okay.
He's gonna play Rodney Hood. He said Rodney Hood, and you're gonna have. And it hurts me to say this, but you're gonna have to play J.R. less. Kyle Korver has to shoot way more. I think he's only taken 4 shots.
So now Kyle
the last
Korver
7
has to be
games.
J.R. Smith.
No, it's gonna be a collective. No, you're gonna play Rodney Hood more. Let's see what Rodney Hood's gonna give you. Because at the end of the day, we already know what you're gonna get from LeBron. Your role players are gonna have to step up, like they did in the Boston series in games, like they did in Game 7 of the Indiana series, Game 7. The same thing the whole team did against Toronto. The games they won, the role players stepped up, and they stepped up when they're at home. They played horrible on the road. They've only lost 1 game at home. So more than none, the role players do step up at home. But this is a different monster in the Golden State Warriors, so we understand that. But let's put it out there.
Thanos.
They've been up and down defensively as well the whole season. So what I think they have to do to even it up, Rodney Hood's going to have to step up. Kyle Korver's going to have to stretch the floor. He's going to have to, even if he misses, just him on the floor, shooting those shots, taking those shots, you have to play honest. You cannot leave Kyle Korver open at all. So I think those 2 additions in the aggressiveness of Kyle Korver will help. And Rodney Hood needs to just come out, guns blazing, do what you do. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to happen. Okay. Meaning them tying the series.
Cool. You want to ask me? Or
Of course, I want to hear your opinion on this.
Kidnap Steph.
That's the
beat
only
up
way.
Clay.
Beat up Clay.
Hire somebody beat up Clay, because Clay got 1 leg anyway. Then you got a chance. Look, all right, let me be serious, right? I'm going to be serious. I'm going to have a very serious moment.
Okay.
Right? Everything that you said, I agree. The role players have to play. You're going to need 16 points from Jeff Green. At least 16 points from Jeff Green.
Okay.
15. Him and George Hill, they got to give you between 14 and 16 points. They got to find a way to combine for 40 points.
They have who?
Them two.
Jeff Green.
Or close to it.
Jeff Green and
George Hill. I'm gonna say 32 points. I'm gonna give them. They have to find a way to combine for 32 points.
Okay.
Because I feel like if you get 30 from LeBron, 20 from Kev Love, and then 30 from them 2 guys, that's what, around 80 points, 80, 85 points. And then you just hope that some of these guys, the rest of these guys, can combine.
Because you have to score in triple.
You got to score in triple digits, right? If they do all that, I see the Warriors winning in 5.
Okay, I'll take that.
I see the Warriors winning in 5.
Okay, they'll get 1.
Yeah,
They'll get 1.
they'll get 1.
You know, I made a bet, so I have them getting swept. I said from the beginning, though, it was a 5-game sweep.
I said
but
that too.
I have them getting. I made a bet 5.
I said that
sweep.
Too. I said it too. I said
But it
5
is what it is.
5.
5.
I said 5 too.
I made the bet, so I'm gonna have to go 4.
Who is your front runner for Finals MVP?
LeBron James. No, I'm joking with you. But to be honest, he's like.
I feel like he should have won the first year.
2 years ago.
The first year the Warriors won. 2 years ago. He should have won Finals MVP. I mean, if they gave it to Jerry West, they gonna do it. But
I can't. I understand it. I get it. Let me say that I get it, but I can't.
I mean, you get that the fact that he's in the conversation.
I can't jump on.
He deserves to be in the conversation.
I can't reward
losing.
Now everybody says it's the most valuable player for that series,
but it's usually for
and the most valuable. But
The most
It
valuable
needs to be from the winning team.
I get it.
Like
I get
I
it. I
can't
get it.
reward you play lights out. I give it to you, but I can't reward you losing.
This year is Steph Curry, and the crazy part is I think Steph Curry. People had a lot of finals like Steph Curry doesn't show up in the finals. That was the knock on Steph for a long time.
And
Him
to be
being in the
honest,
finals,
and to be honest,
he doesn't play well in the finals, which he didn't. He really does. He's not himself in the finals.
all right.
except for this year.
So the first year when they played them, he had a bad first 2 games.
Right.
Right. Then Iguodala started the last from 3 on,
And he ended up winning finals
and he
MVP.
won. But Steph had a good game 3 and on.
But
To be honest,
what I'm saying is when you think of like him having a good finals
from beginning to end.
from beginning to end, and not
He was
only
like 6 for 18 though before going into the third quarter. I mean, going into the fourth quarter. Game 2.
But what I'm saying is when you hear finals MVP, especially from your superstars, and at this time this is before the Warriors were the juggernaut.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were the new kids on the block that were gonna be here a while, but they didn't take that step to as like they're gonna be juggernauts,
Mm-hmm.
right? You expected more from Steph Curry.
Okay.
Because he's the face, right? So the fact that you expected more from him because this is the finals, not only do you have to play it where you were, but you're gonna have to play at least a tier or 2 better. You didn't get that from him. You're automatically gonna, he doesn't show up in the finals. Same thing with James Harden. The knock on James Harden in the playoffs. If James Harden had to get a couple 40 balls for them to kind of like ease up on him.
But we also have to take into consideration that the difference
Right.
in this year than any other year, he doesn't have Kyrie going at him on a consistent basis.
Technically, the
I know.
first year he didn't have Kyrie going at him on a consistent
He
basis.
didn't.
either.
You're right. He didn't.
So he only.
But that's why I said he did have a good, like, if you look at his numbers, he averaged like 25, 5 and something, and we just have to look it up during the break. But during that first year when they won, he averaged good.
He had a
numbers.
great second half of the. He had a great stretch. He
it
had a
was
great
just
stretch
that.
to close it out.
And you could say he could have won Finals MVP.
Oh, this year he gonna win though.
I haven't winning 2.
He set a finals record. Set a finals record. Done deal.
I haven't winning 2.
I turned the TV off after he came down on the left. He was on the left wing. Turned his back, ran around, threw it over his shoulder. Like, you know how the little kids in the backyard, you run out and chase, they throw the ball up. He did that and then went in.
On Kevin Love?
Yeah. And then Kevin Love fouled him. I was like, I'm turning this off.
Yo, to be honest, he practiced. Like, we look at these shots like luck.
We know that.
Now,
I know that
we
he
can
practiced.
say a lot of this stuff, like, a lot of times there is some luck. But when it comes to Steph,
There's no luck with
there's
it.
no luck. He practiced these shots. He has the coach roll the ball out. He would pick the ball up and throw. And you see, he has his shooting motion. That's his shooting. That's his shot. So we can't say it's luck. Totally. Yeah, there's some luck, but for the most part, it's like 96.
You've been doing
No,
this for
some
5-6 years. Just no luck, bro. You see the shot he. All right. I knew it wasn't luck anymore when Kevin Durant was still in Oklahoma City, and they came back. Remember
3-1.
the regular season game when they were in Oklahoma City and Steph Curry came down and pulled them on the left like a step over half court.
Oh, yes.
And banked it in. And that was the shot he wanted to take. Because when the
slowed
shot
down.
went in, it was still 2.3 seconds left on the shot clock. So, I mean, on the clock. So he could have took 1 or 2 dribbles and got close and shot it. So after that, I realized it was a luck. This is what he does.
This is what he does.
This is what he does. There's no luck. There's no luck. So my vote is Steph Curry. He's my front runner. And then LeBron James is the second.
Okay. We agree on that. I have Steph as the front runner for MVP. I guess you can throw LeBron in there.
Got to.
He's outplayed
He's outplayed everybody else on the Warriors except for Steph, I think.
He had a great game 1, and he had an okay game 2.
What was his okay game 2? What was his numbers in game 2?
Game 2.
What was his numbers in game 2?
Was it what? All right. He was 29,
29 points.
29, 10 and 9, or 12 and 9.
How's that an okay game?
You know why?
Antonio?
Because his numbers had no effect on the game.
Okay.
Like, have you ever? You've been places and
I
you've seen.
agree with your point. I'm not disagreeing. I
was
understood.
no
that. I
effect on
didn't.
the
I
game.
didn't say I was. It was
All
almost
right,
like
but
a
sometimes
Carmelo
it fades.
Anthony scoring game with the Knicks sometimes, where he get 30 and we lose him by 25. It's just like
I ain't want you to throw my man Melo in there,
I'm
but
a huge Melo fan, but I'm facts is
you
facts.
make not no. That's a
Fact
fact.
is fact.
That's a fact.
Fact is fact.
That's a fact. I can't.
A lot of players go through it where they have crazy numbers and their numbers do not reflect the game at all.
And that's why I say he had an okay game too.
Okay.
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 We have to take a quick break. When we come back, we have more of topics. You're listening to Top Opinions presented in Current Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, each and every Monday from 7 to 9 p.m. JC Squared on the air show. Jason J-Boy Kerry. JC Squared on the air. The reason. Good music. Celebrity birthday. The Daily segment. And Today in Hip Hop. IBNX Radio and the JC on the air show. So much fun you didn't even realize you learned something. This message has been brought to you by Day Ray Media.
And we're back. You're listening to Topics here on IBNX Radio. So, the sharpshooter that he is, Steph Curry, set a finals record, 9 threes.
Die long. That's die long.
9 threes.
Die long.
And an amazing performance in game 2. I think he went for 16 in the fourth quarter, something like that.
Something ridiculous like that with the shimmy.
Now, you know, where do you rank him?
Who,
Basically, what are your top 5 greatest shooters?
Dylan. Steph Curry. Steph. Dylan. Yo. I'm just all right. Let me stop playing. I think Steph Curry is the best shooter we've ever seen. I think Steph Curry is the best shooter of all time. I don't care. People can, Michael Jordan's the greatest player of all time. We can have that conversation. You're entitled to your opinion. If you want to argue who's the greatest shooter, don't argue with me. Kick rocks. Steph Curry is the greatest shooter we ever seen. Because a lot of people that we're going to have in this conversation are great catch and shoot shooters. Great catch and shoot shooters. But the fact that a person can shoot better, if not better off the dribble than they are, and they can't catch and shoot, and their catch and shoot game is immaculate. Who's better? Second, I got Ray Allen because I feel like a young Ray Allen was able to put it on the deck a little bit and get that range and get to it. A lot of people don't really remember Milwaukee Ray
and even Seattle.
Young Seattle Ray, but Milwaukee Ray was
absolutely
Milwaukee Ray. So Ray's second, Reggie's third in my opinion.
Okay,
I'm gonna have Reggie third, right? And I'm gonna my fourth one, right? People are gonna look at me and be like, "How do you know this?" and different things like that. And this is gonna be a person that played before there was a 3-point line. Hal Greer.
Okay.
For the Philadelphia 76ers.
Okay.
Sharpshooter.
Definitely. You know, all the OGs will say.
From 1958 to 1973, Hal Greer was shooter, staying up.
Knock him down.
Fifth, I think it's like a toss-up for me. It's a lot of guys you could throw in there. Oh, you got to throw in Clay.
Okay.
You got to throw in Clay.
So that's your fifth?
There's a lot of other guys you could throw in.
So
like
it's like a
tie. Like
everybody fighting for that fifth spot. You got
Peja Stojakovic.
These
Clay. Guys I've seen. Got to throw the logo in there, I guess.
Jerry West.
Got to throw the logo in there.
Okay.
And the hard part is trying to cut guys out as terms of like not only you don't want to just label them as shooters, you want to label them as more scorers. You know, some of the guys that you want to like a Pete Maravich. I wouldn't throw Pete Maravich in the conversation as one of the greatest shooters ever, but you got to throw him in the conversation as one of the greatest scorers. You see what I'm saying? So it's hard to throw that. It's hard to throw like somebody like a Pete Maravich in there and pay homage like that because a lot of the older guys that were around the 70s, Larry Bird. Do you label Larry Bird as just a shooter? Or do you label Larry Bird as an all-around scorer?
Good question.
You know, because I think Steph Curry, with a lot of people, those guys were able to score on multiple facets.
Absolutely.
Post up, get to the basket, foul line, catch and shoot game, off the bounce. Steph Curry's, most of his points come from shooting the basketball in terms of jump shots, right? He goes to the basket a couple times, but if he's going to the basket, if it's not a clear layup, he's kicking it out. And then he's coming back to get a jump shot, right? So I would label Steph more as a shooter than a scorer, unlike somebody on his team like Kevin Durant, if that makes sense. So I'm going to throw, for argument's sake, I got to put somebody in there. We'll put Klay Thompson as fifth.
Okay, cool. Our list is very similar. First, I just want to give a shout out to Dylan. Because he actually does watch the show. He does watch the show. I'm going to give him a shout out too.
Dylan watches the show. Like the real Dylan watches the show.
That's my girlfriend Asia's close friend.
Dylan?
Yes.
Word? We gotta get Dylan on the show.
So
Y'all
we
would
can definitely would be great to get
information.
him on the show. If
Y'all
you're
would
watching,
holding information.
call
Dylan
in
is
anytime.
on the
Definitely, we'll set that up.
show. Dylan, and Dylan. It's lit. Steph Curry's Dylan.
So let me get to my list. Of course, you have the great one, Steph Curry. You have to, hands down. I'm not. Everybody that watches basketball.
Listen,
if you don't
kick
watch
grits.
basketball,
kick grits, kick rocks, with open toe shoes on. If you don't agree that Steph Curry is the greatest shooter ever.
you understand. You understand. Look at this one here. Second, I do have Ray Allen. Ray Allen, most threes in NBA history.
You talking about? She threatened me because talking about Dylan. It was actually a compliment to compare somebody like Steph Curry to Dylan, but it's cool. Dylan, and Dylan. Since you want to threaten people, now let's see what you're going to do. Continue, my brother. I'm sorry for getting distracted.
No, it's no
I'm sorry.
problem. It's no problem at all. So I have Steph first, Ray Allen, of course, most threes in NBA history. Shot 40% from the three for 18 seasons. 18 seasons.
Yeah, can we throw Kyle Korver in the conversation?
I have Kyle Korver down on. We're going to get to it. Reggie, I have third.
So our top three was
Our top three is the same.
same. Okay.
Okay. I have now once it got past three.
was
Of course,
a-
you
it
have the
was a
great.
toss-up. It was a toss-up.
But just let me give a shout out to Reggie. Of course, I wasn't a Knicks fan. I grew up in New York, so I seen what he
to the
did.
Knicks.
He's arguably one of the most clutch playoff
Player.
shooters
Ever.
in NBA history. You know that what was it? Game 1 of the '95 conference final when he hit the three, stole the ball, stepped back, hit another three, dagger.
A lot of people talk about that game, right? Well, the game I liked about Reggie Miller was the playoff game against the Nets that year. Remember when he banked in he caught the half court and banked in it? He had like almost 40. I think he had like 48 that game.
It was insane.
And that was towards the end of his career when he did that. I think that was arguably his. I think that was. They went to the finals, and then the next year he did that, and I think he retired after that.
You might be right. He also hit the shot against the Bulls when he pushed off on Mike.
He pushed Mike.
Pushed
You
Mike.
got to make it anyway.
Insane. Pushed him. They ain't call it. That was fine. He also had 39 in the conference finals at MSG. Hit 6 threes. The year before the '95. So he did his work.
Hey, Reggie got to throw. You cannot keep Reggie Miller.
Got
off
to
that
throw
list.
him in there. I have Clay fourth.
Okay. 60 points and 11 dribbles is ridiculous.
Insane.
That's all catch.
All shooting.
That's all catch and shoot.
How do you not? How do you not? How do you not?
I
And
agree.
just like Steph, he shot 40% from three for his entire career so far.
Right.
Entire career. Come on. You have to give him that. He also had 11 threes against the Kings when he put up 52. He puts numbers up.
He's
a
had
shooter.
multiple 50-point games.
Multiple. All shoot.
All
All
jumpers.
shooting. All shooting. Now, my fifth slot, I had a tie. You know, I had Kyle Korver in there. Kyle Korver led the league in 3-point percentage 4 years in a row.
1 year in
He
Utah.
shot almost 54%.
1 year in Utah, he shot 60.
Insane.
He shot 60% from three.
And he's not just taking 1 or 2 a game.
Well, in order to be considered in the ratings, in like the percentages, in order to be ranked in amongst the league leaders, you have to take a minimum of I think 4 or 3 a game.
And to shoot.
So to shoot 60%, to shoot 60% at a point is you're
insane.
shooting every 5 you take, you're making 3.
Insane. That's insane. I have the great Larry Bird in there. Before the 3-point line was priority, he was shooting all over the floor. Just playing. We talking about shooting. I know a lot of people nowadays think just the 3-point line, but he shot threes. He shot mid range. It didn't matter. He shot all over the floor.
And then you got to kind of throw him in there too. But I was just like I said before, I felt Larry Bird was a much more underrated scorer than people gave him credit for. But come to think about it, like all right, just because I feel like Larry Bird's ability to post up kind of put him in the conversation of one of the greatest scorers.
No, but now you look at his greatness. He goes in both categories. One of the greatest scorers as well as one of the greatest shooters.
Well, then hell, I'm gonna put Larry 4th and Clay 5th. Then
I don't mind it. If you look at, I remember they were talking about For the first year of the 3-point contest, he walked in the locker room. He said, "Okay, who's coming in second?" And won the first 3 from 86 to 88. He won, and he did it with a shooting shirt on.
Who's coming in second?
Who's coming in second? Greatness, greatness. And then
Does
you
he
know
get
you
to
have,
be third?
huh?
Does he get to be third?
I think Reggie did too much with that.
With just shooting the basket.
Just shooting, pure shooting.
Okay.
And then you have, like we said, honorable mentions. You said Pager. I'm gonna throw some in there as well. Mitch Richmond.
Mitch. I like Mitch.
Oh.
Chris Mullin.
Chris Mullin. Dirk.
Gotta throw Dirk.
Got to throw Dirk in there. Even KD.
Okay.
50, 40, 40. He does it. He does it.
That's scoring.
But
a lot of that 50, most like
that's
half of that
50%. But we talking about 3-point line is 40. Like you're shooting 40. He's done it.
But he doesn't take a lot of threes.
If you look, what's not a lot of threes nowadays? Because he's taking 3 or more a game, 4 or more a game.
It's not a lot.
Now.
With the Warriors, it's not a lot.
Now.
It's not a lot.
Because you have 2 other players that's taking 8 to 10.
That's why it's not a lot.
But he's taking at least
I'm not
5.
to
He's
discredit
taking
him.
at least 5.
But okay, I'm not disagreeing. Like, all right. Like,
I think he averaged at least 5.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. Like, yeah, he just shoots the pill. There's a lot of guys you got thrown there. Great, late great Drazen Petrovic,
Steve Kerr.
There's a lot of guys you could throw in there.
Absolutely.
I'm keeping my Hal Greer pick though.
That was a good pick.
I'm keeping my Hal Greer.
What's next on the docket?
Continue this basketball stuff. Do you think that the Fantastic Four,
The Fantastic Four. Tell them who the Fantastic Four is.
the Warriors, are the Fantastic Four? So Steph is what, Mr. Fantastic.
Okay.
Klay Thompson is the invisible girl, just because he can appear. Like Klay Thompson could go quiet, you forget that he's on the court sometimes, and then boom, 3 threes in a row. Timeout. Hold on. I didn't know he was in the game. Draymond Green, of course, is the thing. Draymond Green, of course, is the thing.
Okay.
And KD is Johnny Flames.
Nah, I think it's the opposite. Even though I understand why, I don't know. I think because
KD.
Johnny, yeah, he is, but then Steph catches fire. And
Okay, that's fine.
And it's
fine.
electrifying.
That's fine. Okay, we'll switch that.
Switch that.
We'll switch.
All right, so
That's
we have Steve Kerr. We have Steph Curry as Johnny Storm.
fine.
Johnny
Flame.
whatever it
It's
is.
the Fireboy. Whatever.
Yes,
Yeah, I don't know.
absolutely. Okay, so
'Cause what is Fantastic Four DC or is it Marvel?
Marvel.
And they were in Infinity.
They wasn't.
Why not?
You'll see. It should coincide. We'll talk about that another time, but it should coincide sooner or later.
Okay. Because we need somebody. Because never mind. I'm not gonna talk about it. As y'all can see, I'm still upset. What time is it? Ain't 8:15 yet.
No.
I got 8 minutes. All right. Do you think that they can continue this on the individual roles and the individual performances?
Okay.
Throughout the season, do you think they can do this on all 29 other NBA franchises?
Okay, so let's break it down. So
Let's go with Steph first.
Steph, he can do this on all 30 teams in the NBA.
And every overseas team.
And every overseas team, every high school team, every D-League, G-League team, whatever
Okay.
team, any Pro-Am league, he would do this everywhere.
Okay, agreed.
Okay, agreed?
Agreed.
Okay. KD, we seen he did this in OKC.
So them two are just like any other 29. You place them on any other team, any other jersey, they're going to continue. Their numbers stay the same. Their impact on the game stays the same.
Stay the same.
Okay.
Stay the same.
Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson. No, and I'm saying this not to discredit him because just seeing what his role is, I can only go off what I see, and his specialty is not to put the ball on the floor. Not saying he can't, sometimes he does, but it's not fluent like that. So I don't think he could do this on all 29 teams. I think he would need to be in a situation where he has a point guard that will get him the rock. Like we were talking about a situation where he has Chris Paul if he's in Houston.
He's in Houston, it'd be different.
Houston. Rajon Rondo and New Orleans Pelicans, I think he could put up similar numbers, maybe more.
What about Washington with John Wall? Even though they say he don't really pass the ball like that.
If you take Beal off that team and you insert
Klay Thompson, that team
yes,
stays the same.
I think he will give you 20 plus on that team.
It stays the same. Actually, what about the Lakers?
Yes.
I disagree.
And you know why I say
I
that?
disagree.
I know you do. But I'm going to tell you why I say yes.
Why? Why do you say yes?
Because of their head coach. Luke Walton.
He knows he's coached.
He knows he's coached them, and he knows how to put them in situation. And you do have a pass-first point guard.
I do know that. That's why I brought the Lakers up.
You do have a pass-first point guard, and he can put a system in, which their system is similar actually to Golden State.
If I was coaching, my system would be a little similar to Golden State too right now.
It reflects and it touches on shooters. So I think he would be able to put up 20. And there's no other player that's really, you know what I mean? You have Randall.
That's exactly why I think he won't be able to, because he'll get the bulk of he'll get double teamed.
Clay will get double teamed.
I would send 2 at Clay. So anytime Clay's coming off, I'm kind of like guarding them screens. One is trailing. I'm trailing the screen. So I'm locking onto his hip to make him drive or to make him curl. And then that help guy, as soon as he catches, we're doubling, we're trying to get it out of his hand. That's how I would coach him. So I think he would face a lot of double teams. So that's why I don't think he'll be able to do that, because if his role increases and his ability not to be able to put it on the floor.
He does have an escape dribble. I think he gets the first person, and he has a quick release, one of the quickest releases.
Yeah, but how effective will that be over a 48-minute game, over an 82-minute game season?
I think the system that Luke Walton will put in play.
I don't think he can do that on all 29 other teams. Not to discredit him, but just for the fact I think he'll face double teams on other teams. Excuse me, as the guy, and I think that'll hurt his numbers. So that's why.
All right.
Draymond.
No, I don't think Draymond can do this. He will be a utility guy, but his impact will be different.
How so?
Because
I disagree.
Right now, he's undersized, right? But he has greatness surrounded around. He has greatness before. Let's take KD out the situation, but you have players that stretch the floor tremendously. You have the 2 of the top 5 greatest shooters of all time on the floor with you. So you open the floor. Now we're able to put the ball in your hand, and you can create for other guys. We are playing small, so you have a bigger guy on you, so that helps you rebounding. While sometimes you're faster than the other guy, you get open shots because of them. Clear threes. Even though you're not a great three-point shooter, you're hitting because you're wide open. And I don't think every other team or 29 other teams have that dynamic. I think he would be very effective on San Antonio because Pop will put him in a situation to be successful because you have greatness at the leadership role. I think Boston, he would thrive because you have leadership at that role.
I think he'd be great at Boston, actually.
But I can't see that on every team. I can't see him being an all-star on Philly. I'm just naming good teams. I'm not even talking about the bottom echelon teams. I'm just going to throw out teams that I don't see him being an all-star on all 29 other teams.
Okay. Now that I agree with. I don't think he'll be an all-star, but I think what he does bring to the game, I think the only thing that'll probably hurt his numbers is the assists because he won't play with the other caliber of guys that he has.
But that takes away from him. That takes away from what he does. And he's everything. 7, 8 points, 9 points.
I still think he can get 12
7
points
assists.
on 29 other teams in the NBA. I think he can still get a double-double on 29 other teams in the NBA.
For a season?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think so. I think the only thing I want is assists because you still put him in the same because the Warriors gave you the blueprint as to where to put him.
I don't even think he's going to get a double. I don't think he's going to get 10 rebounds. I don't think he will average 10 rebounds on a regular team.
Why not?
Because he doesn't average 10 rebounds on this team.
I think he'll average more because, I don't know. I just think he'll average more.
I mean, I get it. But I don't think it would transfer over on all 29 teams. Not to say there would definitely be a sprinkle amount of teams out there. I think he would thrive in Houston.
Houston
That system,
definitely, Boston definitely, like you said.
San Antonio.
I think Utah, he'd be good in Utah.
Of how, kind of.
Defensively,
yes.
they're
Defensively.
pretty good defensive basketball
Absolutely.
team.
Okay, I can see where you said that.
And teams are wanting to play faster in the NBA. Teams are not really walking the ball. Even this year in the playoffs, teams, like you say, like we said before when the playoffs first started, that what happens when the games slow down? Because the game slows down in the playoffs. Not this year. No, the hell it don't. Not this year. Boston played extremely fast. Houston and the Warriors, they were dog tired by game 7 because they both just ran.
Very.
For
I
7
agree
games.
with that.
So, I don't know. It's interesting.
So let's switch it up a little bit. We're gonna still keep it basketball, but it's a lot of talk. It's okay.
We'll come back to that one.
All right, no problem.
In block D.
So you
I think
wanna
we'll have
introduce
time. Yeah, I want to introduce this topic.
Go ahead.
Because this was an excellent topic, and I want to give you your kudos.
Okay,
Because I
appreciate
feel like people feel like we fight, and I don't give you enough credit. So I'm gonna give you this because you came up with this. Did you come up with this topic first before I give you credit for it? Okay, good job.
Thank you.
I had to make sure. I had to double check my references.
We gotta take a commercial.
We gotta take a commercial. All right, coming back. Gonna talk about this. Tune into the topics here on IBNX Radio. Oh, we don't got to take it.
IBNX. IBNXradio.com. The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
Hey, what's up? It's Jay-Z.
Hey, I'm Mariah Carey. Hey, it's Katy Perry.
It's your boy T.I.P., man. Get in.
It's your boy Sean Kingston.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce. This is Nicki Minaj, and I'm in the mix with
IBNX Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, each and every Monday from 7 to 9 p.m. JC Squared on the air show. Jason J-Boy Carey. JC Squared on the air. Reason. Good music. Celebrity birthday. The Daily segment. And Today in Hip Hop. IBNX Radio and the JC on the air show. So much fun you didn't even realize you learned something. This message has been brought to you by Day Ray Media.
Welcome back. You're tuned in to Topics on IBNX Radio. Did I scare you? I'm sorry. You jumped.
No, you good. Don't worry about it.
I apologize. So, Tone brought up a great topic to me, though we needed to discuss this. Was a very good question. Who had a better playoff run with the team? This year's Cavaliers team with LeBron James or the 2000-2001 Philadelphia 76ers with Allen Iverson? And this was a great question. Something we needed to discuss.
We need to because, the consensus going around, a lot of people have become basketball fans and only been coming outside for the last 2 years. So they haven't seen Allen Iverson. They just know of the myth and the legend.
It's two Allen Iversons.
Allen Iverson.
Two Allen Iverson.
It is. It's true.
It's two Allen Iverson.
So
It's two Allen Iverson. There's Braids Allen Iverson who we're talking about, and then there's low-cut Thielen Allen Iverson.
yeah, but that was Allen Iverson on the way out.
My point exactly is two versions of Allen Iverson.
But everybody knows the braids. All right, but matter of fact, when he first came, he had the little fro too.
Yeah, little fro.
The little fro.
Cross
That
Jordan
cross
with the fro.
Jordan,
Bro,
absolutely.
you're right.
Um,
Ooh, I forgot about that. So 3 versions.
3. But the consensus now is this: no other player has taken a team like this, Cleveland Cavaliers, to the finals. And I'm here to say, people, that is dead wrong.
That is dead wrong.
Dead wrong.
Dead wrong.
Allen Iverson, the answer. The man. Listen, go do your homework. Go do your homework on Allen Iverson. Listen to this, all right? I have this roster.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the roster.
Listen, I have this roster.
Speech right now.
Okay,
We're not going to disagree at this point.
Listen,
I just
at
want to
all.
let you know we're not disagreeing.
I
at
appreciate
all.
that. I
we're not
appreciate
going to
that.
disagree on this topic at all. I just feel like our viewers that feel like this need to be reminded. Like, oh,
Please,
I'm hoping that some of
please.
them are having a wow, forgot
I
about that.
need
team
you
moment.
to
Go
understand
ahead,
the
go through the
2000 and 2000 finals was the 76ers versus the LA Lakers.
Now, mind you, let's throw this little part in and throw this little asterisk in.
Okay.
there. The Lakers lost one game that postseason. They swept the whole Western Conference
And lost one game.
and lost one game to who?
The 76ers game 1. And you know who was there to see it front row? That loss? The coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Because that was the game Allen Iverson stepped over Tyrone.
After hitting that shot. So,
I'm going to let you have your moment.
everybody
This
knows
is your moment,
the
man.
roster that Cleveland has. We see it. We're watching it. Understand it. So, for the new generational babies and people that forgot, I'm going to give you the list of players that was on this 76ers team.
I guarantee you're going to be like, who? At least 3 times.
Mind you, they number 1 in the East that year, too. Number 1 in the East. And I'm going to name these players.
Did he win MVP that year?
Yes, he won MVP.
Okay, that's why.
So, Rajah Bell,
Okay.
Rodney Buford, Matt Geiger,
Ha.
Tyrone Hill,
Ha.
Jermaine Jones,
Ha.
Tony Kukoc, George Lynch
Tony Kukoc didn't even play.
at all, Todd McCullough, Vernon Maxwell,
Vernon Maxwell. Mad Max was on that team.
Aaron
Didn't play.
Aaron McKee, Rashawn McLeod, Anthony Miller, Nazir Muhammad, Dikembe Mutombo, Kevin Ollie, Theo Ratliff, Pepe Sanchez, and Eric Snow. Now, I promise you, I
knew everybody but Anthony Wells.
everybody that's tuning
Anthony
in,
Williams and Pepe Sanchez. I know
and the
everybody.
majority of people, and that's crazy, and we watch basketball, people that don't watch basketball on a regular basis, that don't know the history of this game, after I named 90% of this list, they said, who?
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I watched that series. I didn't even know. I forgot Tony Kukoc was on that team. I did not know
Vernon Maxwell
was on that team. I did not know that Mad
At
Max
all.
was on the team. I didn't know Mad Max was on the team. I
At
didn't
all.
know.
And understand why he wasn't playing. He was born in 1965. Vernon Maxwell was not the Houston Rockets
It's
when they
Vernon, yeah.
understand. Okay? That was 94 and 95 when he won the championship. This is 2001.
He didn't win 95. He went home.
And Houston, he did.
He went home after the Utah series.
He did.
Quit.
He did.
Quit.
You're right. So, understand, listen, this roster, I promise you, nobody knows 90% of these players if you didn't watch basketball. And if you did, you know for a fact this roster should not have been in the NBA Finals.
One, you got 8 centers. You got Tyrone Hill was a power forward.
Nazir Muhammad, Dikembe Mutombo. That's the only people that people really know is Dikembe Mutombo.
Theo Ratliff, maybe. No? Okay.
They don't know who Theo Ratliff is. They don't know. Aaron McKee was just 6 man. What happened?
Aaron
We're
McKee was good, though.
good coming off the bench. Good coming off the bench.
was great in college.
Their second leading scorer that playoff run in them finals.
Was Aaron McKee, right?
No, Dikembe Mutombo.
Who's never been a scorer.
Never. He averaged 12. Just his second leading scorer.
We're talking about Shaq and Kobe here.
Allen Iverson averaged 35.
Yeah, it is. I'm not disagreeing with you. You
I know.
Talk to the camera. Look at the camera.
35.
Talk to them. Don't talk
Understand
to
this.
me. I understand. And that's
Now-
why I felt we needed to talk about this. Now we were supposed to talk about this, and I said we was going to talk about it in Block D, but I feel like this was the greatest segue. This was a good segue, right?
Mm-hmm.
To come back to the question that we was originally supposed to talk about. Now, Allen Iverson had a. That's not LeBron is the only player to do this, right? Now, however, the difference between Allen Iverson and LeBron James is I don't think LeBron James has ever faced a team. One superstar has faced a team of this caliber in the finals. Is that fair to say? Even with the Lakers sweeping through, the way they swept through and the way they dominated the finals, correct?
Because if we look at Hall of Famers, they had 2. They had Kobe and Shaq. But let me ask you something. All right. See, this is tough because as Allen Iverson, okay, just to clarify, I feel his run was greater than LeBron's run. On top of what I just said,
Even though they were number one in the East,
even
as well?
the reason they were number one
Because-
is because you take him off their lottery.
They're the number one. They get the number one pick.
Number one pick. And that's Allen Iverson. And understand, Allen Iverson was 5'11", 6 foot, if that,
On a tall day.
on a tall day.
On a tall day.
And he was 160 soaking wet. To do this, to endure in that era, it was towards the,
It was still physical.
Still
It
physical.
was still very physical. Still very physical.
In that day and age, Shaq, Kobe.
Because they didn't take out the hand check until when?
We would have to look that up. They took out. It was towards the end of the 90s.
Oh, but it was still physical because they were
Still
still
physical.
transitioning because they were still
Absolutely.
trying-
Absolutely. Still physical. To do that at that height,
that
weight,
physical stature.
that physical stature. Understand now, LeBron is playing in a day and age like if you blow on somebody, it's a foul.
Foul.
Now, on top of that, you're 6'9", 260.
Agree.
I can't touch you. You're stronger than me.
Faster
Than me. Jump higher. So you're taking a little less toll. Okay, yeah, you get beat up a little bit, but you don't get knocked down
Like Allen Iverson.
like Allen Iverson. So I felt his run was better to me.
Agree.
To me.
1,000% agree with you. I agree with you. No, not even up for conversation. Agree with
Okay.
you.
And now segueing into that other topic.
There was no other All-Star on that team.
No other All-Star. No.
Okay.
No other All-Star. And because of him, because of his dynamic, they damn near swept the awards that year. Because he won MVP.
I think the only All-Star on that team ever outside of Allen Iverson was probably Dikembe Mutombo.
Yes.
I don't think any of them on the other guys on the team
Were ever All-Stars.
were ever All-Stars.
Okay.
Ever.
I agree.
Tony Kukoc, as good as he was with the Bulls, never was an All-Star.
Never.
Neither was Vernon Maxwell.
I agree. So that's why that dynamic I have to give to Allen Iverson. So please stop saying that blasphemous stuff. Please, please, please. Now to segue into the next topic of not one player ever faced a dynamic of a team
of
that
this
built
magnitude in the finals.
Okay,
Ever.
so we have Steph, KD, Clay, and we throw Draymond in there because of his impact for that team.
You got to put him in Fantastic Four. You see what happens when Draymond is not playing with the Warriors. You see what happens.
Okay.
You see what happens. He deserves to be in the conversation.
Now, when you do multiple, because it's hard. I wanted to say this. I wanted to ask this. I don't think it's fair because I think at the end of the day, if you have Steph, KD, Clay, throw Draymond, take Draymond out, those three, and you have Kobe and Shaq, who do you want? Would you want Kobe and Shaq, or would you want KD, Steph, and Clay?
Kobe and Shaq.
Okay. So with that dynamic, I want to say it was similar magnitude, but I'm gonna go with
Now
the
when
numbers.
you add Draymond, do you take those four or do you take those two still? With those four or those two. Don't take Draymond out of nothing.
Don't take them out.
Nope.
I don't think there was anyone as dominant on that team as Shaq.
I agree with you. I'm still taking those four over those two, though.
You still taking those 4? Okay.
I'm taking those four over those
I
two.
won't knock you. But now, with that,
Because you've
no
clearly-
other player. So you feel no other player has ever faced a team with three Hall of Famers, four All Stars.
4 All-Stars and potentially 4 Hall of Famers.
And you're just your lone superstar.
Just your lone superstar. Other great teams, those Lakers. The reason why the Lakers and the Celtics rivalry was so great because those teams were just so much even in terms of talent,
Okay.
and it was just a matter of just styles.
All right. So I'm gonna throw out a series to you.
Go ahead. I knew you would research. That's why I brought it up because I just wouldn't want to research it.
I'm gonna throw out a series to you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
2010, 2011. Dallas Mavericks
No.
versus
Okay.
the Miami Heat.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The Miami Heat have three Hall of Famers.
Right.
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 Dallas Mavericks have one superstar.
One superstar. Right. And those role guys are way better than the guys that the Cleveland Cavaliers have.
So now we going at how good the role players were.
No. Because you're talking about a top 5 point guard, regardless of what year he was.
He was 38 years old.
He still was top 5 point guard ever.
Still
top 5
All
point
right,
guard
ever. But Jordan was the greatest ever. But at 40, he wasn't Michael Jordan.
Yeah, he was.
He was not Air Jordan.
Listen, you take Jason Kidd off that Dallas Mavericks team. That Dallas Mavericks team was the Gorilla Finals.
Okay, you take Kevin Love off this team, you might not be making it either.
But you got to.
But you have to implement somebody,
right.
Right.
Then, let's look at it. Jason Terry,
okay.
very good role player, very good. Sean Marion, very good piece.
I think Sean Marion is the X factor.
Sean Marion is the piece.
Okay.
Sean Marion is the piece. And you still had a young Tyson Chandler, defensive Tyson Chandler, who at that stretch, he was the first big that. Well, I give part of that to Chris Paul, but he was the first. He's the reason why certain big men are still in the NBA. The reason why DeAndre Jordan is able to get paid so much is because Tyson Chandler did what he did and made it popular, and a lot of teams followed that mode where the Clint Capellas of the world, the DeAndre Jordans of the world are now able to follow that Tyson Chandler mode where you're going to block shots, run the floor, and catch lobs. That was it.
Okay, yeah, he started that. Great role players, but they had one lone superstar.
Right. And we also went on the record and said that Warriors team is better than the Miami Heat team. We said it 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
We did.
But I'm just talking about the dynamic of what you're going at. I'm not going to compare them to any other. Just that year, you have one superstar going against 3 Hall of Famers. You have a Hall of Fame on your team, but he's 38 years old.
2 Hall of Famers.
I was talking besides. If I'm Dirk, I have another Hall of
We have
Famer.
2 besides Dirk. Sean Marion, in my opinion, is in the Hall of Fame.
Sean Marion doesn't get in the Hall of Fame.
Not first ballot, but I think he'll get it.
Then now is a long shot.
Okay. All right, so let's just say 2 for a guarantee. Let's say
2 guaranteed.
Okay, 2
But
guaranteed.
one of them is 38 years old.
Who
He's
played
not.
till he was like 42, 43.
41, 42.
Okay, yeah.
With the Knicks.
Yeah.
He's one of the reasons they made that
Had-
they were
they
the
had-
second seed, but they died because everybody was young. No, I mean everybody
Was old.
but Melo was
old.
young. And Amari lost his mind. Punched the glass, went crazy.
Right. So my whole thing is like that we said that Warriors team isn't as good. I mean, that Warriors team is way better than the Miami Heat team. Because you got to look at that. If you
Yeah,
take
but
out of
that's
those 3
that
guys,
dynamic.
right? If you take out of those 3 guys, right? Let's just take out Dirk. Let's take out Jason Kidd. Let's take out Dwayne Wade. Let's take out LeBron. Let's take out Chris Bosh.
Okay.
Right? Who else is on that Miami Heat team?
Okay. On that Heat team,
Right.
we have
Mario Chavez.
Mario Chalmers, Joel Anthony, Carlos Arroyo, Mike Bibby. Eric-
Mike Bibby retired after that.
Okay. He didn't have to.
Mike Bibby was done after this. Mike Bibby was done already. Mike Bibby was done already.
That's what we're going on.
If you're gonna say Jason Kidd wasn't Jason Kidd,
But Jason Kidd didn't retire. That's what I'm saying. He didn't have to retire.
Mike Bibby
he
was
retired.
bad. That's how bad Mike Bibby was. But go ahead.
Hit you those shot. Eric Dampier, Udonis Haslam, Eddie House,
You know what that team is sounding like?
Juwan Howard,
You know what those role players are sounding like at that time?
Jonas Ilgauskas,
Yeah. You know
James Jones, Jamal McGraw, Mike Miller, Dexter Pittman, Jerry Stackhouse.
That team is sounding like that.
So-
those role players are sounding like
Sound
that.
like them class.
It sound like the Sixers. So now let's look at those guys. Let's look at the role players of the Mavericks at that time.
And we're taking out who? Who did we take out?
We took out Dirk and Jason Kidd,
Oh, see. JJ,
who's still being productive.
Corey Brewer, Karan Butler, Brian Cardinal, Tyson Chandler, Brendan Haywood, Dominique Jones, Ian Mahimi.
Still in the league.
Stop it.
He's still in the league.
Yeah, so what?
He's still in the league, bro.
I don't care if he's still in the league. Are you really thinking about Mahimi?
Okay.
Stop it.
Okay.
Stop.
And you're leaving the name off that. I'm waiting for you to name it.
Sean Marion, Steve Novak, Deshaun Stevenson, Peja Stojakovic, Jason Terry.
Those last 3 guys were the reason why they won the finals. Those last 3 guys were the reason they won the finals.
So team-wise, they had... So, did you think they were going to win those finals?
No, I didn't think so. But it wasn't surprising. They were the better team. Like we said before, that Miami Heat team was never a good team. It was a talented basketball team, but it was never a good team. The Warriors are a talented team, and they're a great team.
So LeBron never really played. So is it safe to say that you're basically saying, I'm asking you, that LeBron has never really had a good team? He just had great players and people put around him?
It's safe to say that. You can
Safe
put
to say
in
that?
argument.
He's never had a real good team.
And that may be a reflection of him. Who knows?
Team-wise.
That may be a reflection of him.
It is because of with the dynamic that he brings
Yeah.
and what he needs to
It may be hard
succeed.
to play. It may be hard to play with him. I don't know. Do you agree that this is the biggest battle that one superstar has had to face? Yes or no? We got to move on.
I mean,
The whole show can't be basketball.
I was thinking about that, that aspect with the Dallas Mavericks. But we know when we break it down, you look at everything.
It wasn't as imbalanced as we thought it was.
No,
Yeah.
the role players did pick up a lot of that. So this arguably is. It is. Point blank and period.
Cool. Let's move on.
It is. We have to take a quick break. Once we come back, we have some more topics. We're going to get off this basketball talk, get some NFL in here, some WNBA. You're listening to Topics
Definitely
on
some
IBNX
WNBA in
Radio.
You're listening to IBNX. IBNXradio.com. The The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
Hey, what's up? It's Jay-Z.
Hey, I'm Mariah Carey.
Hey, it's Katy Perry.
It's your boy T.I.P., man. Get it.
It's your boy Sean Kingston.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce. This is Nicki Minaj, and I'm in the mix with
IBNX Radio.
And we're back. You're listening to Top Opinions presented in current sports. So, switching up the tone from NBA talk to some NFL greatness, Terrell Owens sends a tweet in response. He did send a tweet basically stating that he can still play now. You know, it wasn't word for word verbatim. But do you think at 44 years old, that T.O. can play now?
Yes.
Why?
I feel like he's still. I feel like when you've been considered one of the greatest wide receivers to ever play football, top 3, right, in many people's conversation, right, top 5, regardless of whoever the hell you want to put in that conversation, right. You've had to have a lifestyle, routine to keep you at this, and I'm pretty sure he's worked out, and even at 45, pretty sure he still keeps that routine and that regimen where he's still in shape. I think part of him enjoys being it's become habitual. So if he stayed in shape, you know, he still works out. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure like even we just don't know about it, but like I'm pretty sure like some of these, like I hear like you'll hear Steve Smith and those guys that are all retired, they'll still play pickup. It's not the caliber of pickup that, you know, but they still play pickup. They still play in shape. But I think Terrell Owens, he can play a snap. Now, do I think he needs to play a snap? Absolutely not. Sit your ass down. What's wrong with you?
True.
At 44 years old. But do I think if he really wanted to, somebody as great as he is, I think he could. Just like I really personally think Michael Jordan could give you a playoff series. It ain't going to be 40. It ain't going to be 20. It ain't even going to be 10.
Listen, he's on his own on that one.
I still think Mike could play. If Mike wanted to play, Mike could still play.
No way.
I still think
No
Mike
way.
could play.
No way.
At 55. At 60, Mike could still play.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah.
No way.
Kareem could come out of retirement. I want to see him. Magic could still play. All them dudes.
All right, see, now you're just talking insane and crazy. You know for damn
Nah,
sure.
Mike can't play. Mike can't play
no.
right now. But I think at 44, Terrell Owens could still play a snap. I don't think it's wise, but I think he can still play.
Just to read his quote, he sent it to the GM of the 49ers, John Lynch. He said, "Thanks. I know Jimmy G is going to need a big play receiver this year. At some point, let's make it happen. Hashtag stay ready. Hashtag vet minimum."
So obviously he was just trolling him. He's being funny. Obviously he won't play. Obviously he's not entertaining it. A little troll action. But
But he said he would entertain it if they did call. But he's not asking for it. But do you understand? He hasn't played a snap since 2010. I understand he stays in the best shape, insane shape, but it's different once you are a wide receiver.
we're talking about like a snap. We're not talking about him playing a whole season.
No, we're talking about playing the season. We're
He
not
said a
just
snap.
Well, meaning, can he play in the NFL today?
For a year?
For a
No.
Oh, okay. So, one snap. Of course he's gonna play one snap.
I think if he listen, I really think if you really wanted to sign Terrell and sell some tickets and bring T.O. back to San Francisco and let him play one game, I think he'll play and get 3 catches.
3. Okay.
I think he'll get 3 catches.
All right.
Now you gonna have to wheel him off the.
He gets
field.
that hit, one hit. That hit different. That's different. That's different. I just think once he, it's easy just catching passes when there's no defense or if there's only 2-hand touch or flag football.
It's not even that. I think, but now the NFL
get that
isn't the
contact.
NFL kind of geared towards protecting the receivers more. So I think that would work in his favor. No,
Still got to take those hits.
I'm talking about for a game, but for a season, no way, no way.
For a game.
no way. No
Okay.
way.
I get what you're saying.
way, no way,
All right. So we're on the same page.
no way,
We're on the same page.
no way.
Just to touch off that. So we should say the great Hall of Fame wide receiver now,
Terrell
Owens. But it took him 3 years
Blasphemous,
to get
blasphemous,
into the Hall.
blasphemous.
How do you feel about that?
You just heard me say it.
I need to hear it again.
Blasphemous.
numbers wise, is no way on God's green earth. Just numbers wise, there's no way on God's green earth.
I got a question. Being that the Earth is like 70% water, why wouldn't it be like God's blue Earth?
Listen, I'm not here to debate that. If you got a point, maybe you should start using that.
Okay. On God's blue Earth and green Earth,
There you go.
He not supposed
God's
to
blue
be-
and green.
he's not supposed to be waiting to be in the Hall of Fame.
He's
Third
first
year eligible.
ballot, hands down. First ballot,
Like as
hands
soon as
down.
the clock hit 0, they just when the gold jacket was they get gold jackets. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The gold jacket's supposed to be in his locker. His last game, the gold jacket was supposed to be in his
That's
locker.
insane. It's blasphemous. It makes no sense at all. How do you leave 3 years? Now, the whole stigmatism of, quote unquote, team obliterator, and he breaks up teams. But what bothered me is minimum or how many people came out and said, you know what, he was disruptive as a teammate. He was this, that, and the third. There was another half that also said he was a great teammate.
I wonder how many people that said he was a disruptive teammate, wasn't a good teammate, said he didn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
Probably none.
None.
You cannot fix your face to say he does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. And then that's all hate. If you can actually fix your lips to say that, that's all hate. That makes no sense at all. No, what are we looking at in the Hall of Fame? Your numbers. This is what we're looking at.
For the
And numbers
what-
wise,
what is the numbers? Did you get the numbers?
We
You didn't
talked
even
about
go
it
through
before.
You didn't even go.
You don't
didn't
need
even
to.
bother.
You
As
don't
the numbers
need to.
guy, you didn't even bother
The-
to
the-
look him up.
don't need to. He finished second in receiving yards. You know who's first? Jerry Rice.
Who played like 20 years.
Like, are you kidding me?
Nah, Jerry Rice played what?
He played almost 18 seasons.
But he
Probably 20.
85 to 2004, something like that. Mm-hmm. So he arguably did play almost
20
20 years.
seasons.
Okay. How many T.O. played? 11?
Nah, he probably played like 12, 13.
12. Okay. Oh. So he had a whole other, he missed, so he was between, Jerry Rice played a whole other career.
Yeah, but that's why nobody's touching Jerry
Jerry
Rice.
Rice.
It's like
Got
that
it.
their fault. But point blank and period, there's no way he should be left off.
Like nobody
at
touching
1,
John
2.
Stockton assist record.
No, that's insane. That's insane. Look it up, people. No, it's insane. Absolutely. So we definitely agree on that. So
Antonio Brown came out and said he was the best wide receiver of this generation. We're talking about the generation post T.O. and Randy Moss. Do you agree?
Antonio Brown is a great receiver. Still in his prime. Hell no, I don't agree.
Ooh.
I don't.
Ooh.
And it's not a knock on him. It's just that
You got somebody else ahead of him.
I don't have someone else.
You have other people.
Yes.
Who else do you have?
If I'm looking at
Now, mind you, we are agreeing. I'm letting you know we're agreeing again. This is very seldom. We're agreeing
very
again.
so if you're tuning in, listen, you write this date down.
I wonder
First
who else you have.
on that list, I have Calvin Johnson.
That's what I had. Wow, look at this. Look at this. Wow, Megatron. Wow. For my people that say I don't
Although his career was shorter, no one was as dominant as Calvin
The
Johnson.
numbers are kind of, the accolades are kind of similar. I'm gonna read them off.
Go ahead.
They're both 6-time Pro Bowlers.
Mm-hmm.
Calvin Johnson's 33-time first team All Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Antonio Brown is 4. Right? They're both 2 times NFL receiving yards leaders. Both 2 times. Antonio Brown, however, is 2 times receptions leader. Antonio Brown has 733 receptions. Calvin Johnson only has 731. Now this way it get a little funny. Calvin Johnson has 11,619 receiving yards. Antonio Brown has 9,910. Calvin Johnson has 83 touchdowns. Antonio Brown has 59. Megatron, I had Megatron on him.
Now I also understand Megatron retired at 30.
He can still play football.
He retired at 30 years old,
He can still play football.
in the middle of his prime. Now, people that don't really watch football but maybe dabble in it, please tell me what team did Megatron play on and what team does Antonio Brown play for? And who are their quarterbacks? You have a Hall of Fame quarterback with you, Antonio. Not taking anything away from you or what you do, but you do have Big Ben back there, and you have a dynamic running back. Can anybody tell me the running back that was in Detroit that for those years of his prime?
Reggie Bush.
He was there for a couple, and he was one of the. He's arguably my best college player of all time, Reggie Bush.
We'll talk about. You want to talk about that next week?
Absolutely, we're going to talk about that.
week.
We're definitely going to talk about that.
Okay.
But I have Megatron 1. I have Larry Fitzgerald 2.
Forgot about Larry Fitzgerald.
You cannot
Completely.
Larry Fitzgerald.
And I was thinking about this on the ride here, and I was like, okay, when you brought this to me, right? When you brought up the topic, because with our show, it's tough because sports changes every day.
Every day.
So we have to kind of wait until the last minute Tuesday night to kind of solidify a topic.
Absolutely.
So when you brought this to me, I went to sleep because it was like 2 a.m. I was like, I'll pick it up in the morning because I'm off. And I was like, I'm leaving somebody off this list. Larry Fitzgerald is definitely.
Larry Fitzgerald. If you look at his years of greatness,
Right.
longevity,
Right.
these all plays in factor, just like we talk about LeBron.
Right.
The years of, listen, everybody said, I believe it was after 2000 and, I want to say 14, I think he had 700 yards, 770 yards or something like that, maybe 4 touchdowns. Everybody said, now he's on the decline. He followed that up the next 3 years with 3,300 receiving yards. The next 3 years.
So that's 1,000 each year.
Basically. And a little bit more.
It's 1,100 each year.
This is greatness. Longevity. He arguably has the best hands since Jerry Rice.
Since Jerry.
And he's arguably the best blocking wide receiver ever.
We're going a little too deep into this.
And I need everybody to do their research when they're looking at me and they thinking I'm just saying this. Look up the facts. Look up the facts and look where they rank Larry Fitzgerald. Blocking, passing, receiving, all of these factors that play into being a great wide receiver. Route running, can play outside, can play the slot. These are things that matter.
Larry Fitzgerald was a game changer.
Game changer. And he's been doing it for years,
He's a
in
game
and out.
changer.
So I had him second.
Who went to the Cardinals this year? Which quarterback?
Oh, I don't remember.
Was
You know
Sam
my
Bradford?
mind. Did Sam go there? We'll have to do every. You know, my mind is. You know, I have my mind different places. I'll figure it out in a moment.
I think it's Sam Bradford.
Third, I have Antonio Brown.
Well, fair.
I have Antonio Brown
He ain't too far behind.
at all. Fourth, I have Julio Jones.
Yeah.
Fifth, that's became a little tricky for me.
So you didn't go to bias?
I didn't go bias.
You didn't go bias?
No.
I thought you would have went bias.
I was, but
and
I
I
have.
would have allowed you to go bias.
And
I would have allowed you to be
You would
biased.
allowed me.
I would have allowed you to be biased because I would. You deserve to be fine.
I mean,
Odell,
I would put
Odell just hasn't played long enough yet.
at all, and he had to take off last season. So I will put AJ Green there now, but Odell is on his heels. So that's my 5. I have Megatron, which is Calvin Johnson, Larry Fitzgerald, Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, and AJ Green with Odell Beckham on his heels.
So DeAndre Hopkins doesn't get on that list.
No,
No. Not even sniff.
no.
Nah, no. Listen, I didn't go as far as the top 5.
Oh, so we.
The question was top 5. The question was
At all?
the greatest generation. Hell no.
But you would made sure you brought up Megatron.
I made sure that I brought a Megatron. Made sure that
Absolutely.
I answered the question.
Absolutely.
And the question was, hell no. He ain't better than no damn Megatron. Listen. I just want y'all to understand this. I'm going to put this in context for y'all, right? So, me and my friends, we play Madden. One of the things, Madden Ultimate Team, you get the card and all that, right? So, I got my boy Joe, who actually won the NCAA
Yes.
pool. Avid Madden guy. Very good Madden guy, right? His Madden team was like a 99 already. He's nice with it. Nice, right? He was stuck for like a month. He was like, Chris, only thing I got to get is the 99 Calvin Johnson.
It's over.
Calvin Johnson, I'm going to tell y'all. Calvin, so you can buy the card with a certain amount of coins. How many coins you thought people were buying this Calvin Johnson for? We're talking about coins here, where you got to either earn, where you don't get that many coins when you earn, you probably get a couple hundred when you earn, or you got to buy the coins, or you got to buy the cards to sell them, to flip them, basically. How many? 99 Calvin Johnson. How many coins?
100,000.
Huh?
100,000. Oh, you laughed at that.
Yeah, I laughed at that. That's not good. Spending 100,000 coins on a card ain't that much. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
It's a lot, but it ain't. I'm getting like guess.
1 million.
Ha!
Oh,
I'm gonna laugh at that too. At one point, I saw Calvin Johnson's card go for 5.5 million coins.
how much was Antonio Brown?
5,000 maybe.
Oh, okay. So even the game knows.
Maybe a million, 1.3, because it was like a 95, 96. You know, you got the specialty cards, you know. So let's just put that in context. Calvin, listen. Megatron, man. Megatron.
Different.
He can still play. He can come back right now and play.
Just like when Barry Sanders retired. Very early.
He's like, nah, I'm tired of this.
Still
I
great.
I quit.
So we agree.
Next topic.
Next topic.
Hilarious topic.
President Trump.
Yes, we get to talk about him because it's sports related.
President Trump. He rescinds his invite for the Eagles to visit the White House. He states it's because they didn't want to stand for the national anthem.
Let me ask you this. Did he rescind this before they said no or after they said no? They wasn't going. That's the real question. So let me ask you this, Mr. Trump, President Trump, sir. Was this before they told you we not going, or this was after they said we wasn't going, and he tried to save face? Now the significance isn't that. Well, it's still significant that a team has declined to go, but this is the second team that has declined to go, and not sure if the Houston Astros went.
I think they did.
The Houston Astros went.
I think they did. The Astros went.
It's Texas. Republican states, they probably did go. You're right. This is the second team that said they are not going to the White House to meet with the president. However, now today, the issue came up in conversation yesterday, Steve Kerr and LeBron James. They have both said
Whichever
team wins the finals,
they're not going.
is not going.
So once they win, don't worry about it. Because once they win,
don't even invite them, Mr. Trump. You don't got to worry about rescinding the invite.
No, he's gonna do it so he can rescind it. Like they didn't already say that they're not going.
We just want to put you this on record, sir. You can't uninvite somebody that said they're not coming in the first place.
And more than half of the team. But see, the thing that bothers me, right, is it's just insane that they already said they didn't want to go. And now you rescind it. You didn't have to rescind anything. They said they didn't want to go. But there was still players that said they would go. I think it was like 10 or 12. Now, understand how many players are on a football team.
60. That make the cut?
Insane.
I think it's like 66 or something.
Insane. So you rescind it. So basically because it's not a party and it's a consensus.
Well, it's 55, I think. 55 made the cut or something like that.
So because it's not a consensus and it's not a party, he has an ego, a huge ego. And he wants the attention. He loves the attention. So you rescind it because the whole team doesn't want to show up. So for some people, it was still an acknowledgement. So why not just at least accept them? Why? Because it's not the whole team? I don't know. I don't get his whole
Do you
theory.
think a trend is starting where you're now going to see in sports where teams do not go meet with the president?
As long as he's in the
office? Do you think that's how do you fix that? Besides the obvious. Is there a way you can fix it?
No. It just, as this is the United States, we have free speech.
We think.
Well, let's go off what we have. What they told us
we got.
We have free speech.
Right.
So if they decline, they don't want to go, they don't have to go. And as long as there's mixed feelings about whoever's running the country, their views, people have the right to say, no, I don't want to go. I'm grown. So, and right now, the country is at odds with our leader.
Well, Steve Kerr brought up a good point. He said clearly he's trying to divide us for political gain. And it was possibly.
I'm not going to sit here and go into politics because I don't. Whatever it is, I don't know. I can't say.
Because you're not a politician.
Absolutely.
Neither am I. Now, however, he does have a either you're with me or you're against me.
Absolutely.
Attitude.
Absolutely.
That's clearly his attitude.
Absolutely.
Now, how many of those people do you think, as this time goes on, that were with him are going to be against him? That's what I'm. And that's what I'm.
I think the it's shifting because some things that he said he would do, these people are not seeing this. It's I've seen a little shift already. All right, so we'll see how long it goes. It is what it is.
I just wanted to talk about it because it's technically sports related, so it gives us a chance to talk.
But at the end of the day, you cannot rescind something we already said we're not going to go.
To. Invite me, I dare you. I ain't going, so please send me an invite.
There is some people that feel it is an honor because it is.
It is an honor because it's supposed to be an honor. So that's my question: was do you find it part of it being disrespectful? The fact that whether the president or not, being that this is a tradition that's been set in sports, and teams have now decided not to go. Do you find it disrespectful in a way?
No, because of our so-called free speech. I don't think it's disrespectful because it's supposed to be an honor to you. Like, okay, we send you this invite. It's up to you to decline or not. But are you supposed to just shut down the White House? No. People are entitled to their opinions. You can't feel hurt about their opinions. It's their opinion. You have your own opinion. You may feel they're wrong for sitting down or kneeling. They feel you're wrong for not wanting to. Agree with us. So don't feel one way if you have a thought process because they have a thought process. So that's where they bump heads. It is what it is.
More uplifting talk.
Let's get to it.
Diana Taurasi.
Ooh.
Diana Taurasi is the first female basketball player to score 8,000 points in the WNBA.
I like this topic.
Is she the greatest female basketball player ever?
No.
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 No. I don't like this show because we're agreeing a lot.
I really honestly thought you were going to say she was.
She was?
I really thought.
No.
Wow. Round of applause for that. Honestly, I was like, oh, you know what? We're definitely going to bump into this. I really thought you were going to say Diana Taurasi is the greatest female basketball player of all time.
Why do you think that?
I don't know. Because the topic came up. I was like, you know what? Oh, like she is great. So I wouldn't see and I really thought you was going to put up one. I was like, okay. So yeah, I definitely got him on. I'm definitely going to go this other way. I'm definitely going to go this other way. Like, I'm surprised. I'm so surprised. But okay, cool. No, I don't have her as the greatest. I mean, and I'm sitting here, and before I even looked at numbers, before I even researched anything to myself,
I didn't look at numbers.
I just looked.
I didn't look at numbers.
I rated it for myself. I looked at numbers after, and I was like, I'm still right to myself.
I hate numbers. I hate numbers because numbers tell a story, but they don't tell a whole story.
Oh, I agree.
Because like with the whole Megatron. And the whole T.O. and Jerry Rice thing, where Jerry Rice played an additional 7 years. The whole Kobe and Mike thing, when Kobe played another 6 years or 4 years, because 2 of those years he was hurt for the whole season. So we're not gonna take those away. Stuff like that. So that's why I really don't like numbers, but I do. There's a place for numbers. But I think the greatest basketball player greatest female basketball player ever that we played before the WNBA.
So basically, okay. So you going Miss Miller?
I'm going with Cheryl Miller.
You're going Miss Miller.
Cheryl Miller, who scored 100 something points in high school. Mm-hmm. Now, her and Lisa Leslie have both. There's 3 women that I know on record that have scored 100 points in the game. Mm-hmm. Cheryl Miller, Lisa Leslie, and Epiphany Prince. Shout out to Epiphany Prince. Brooklyn in the house without a doubt.
She got busy.
113. But Cheryl Miller at USC was
the myth, the legend.
The Michael Jordan of female basketball.
Mm-hmm.
She was better than her brother.
Yes.
She was better than her brother.
And he said it.
He said it. His brother, she's better. She was better than me. He said it on ESPN 30 for 30. She was better than me.
She would beat me all the time. He said it.
So, Lisa Leslie second for me.
Lisa Leslie second. Okay. So with my thought process, I didn't see Cheryl Miller play, and I feel like everybody said hands down she's the greatest ever. So I'm like, okay, I can't really touch that. So besides Cheryl Miller, because I didn't see and a lot of people did, because she was done before the WNBA,
way before the
WNBA, and she had injuries when she went overseas. She did that, but way before. By the time the WNBA, she was commentating for years. But my personal favorite was Cynthia Cooper.
Before Cheryl Swoops?
Yes. Because on that Houston team, Cynthia Cooper
Real deal.
was real.
So so give me your starting five.
My starting five?
Give me
Oh,
your
you mean
starting
top five?
Give me your starting five. You could get 5 females on the basketball. 5 female basketball players in your starting five. Who is it?
Wow. We're not talking Cheryl Miller, right? We taking Cheryl Miller. I haven't seen it. Like, I just know the myth, the legend. She's like Wilt to me.
So you just give me your personal starting five.
All right.
I'm keeping Cheryl Miller on mine.
I don't want to put it because I will put her in mine, but I don't want to put her in mine. But
Okay,
all right.
we're gonna take Cheryl Miller out.
All right. So I have Cynthia Cooper.
Okay.
Of course, I have Lisa Leslie at the 5.
Okay.
I have. Oh man, at the 2. See, I'm struggling because I like Maya Moore.
So you don't make your starting five?
But then would you put Diana Taurasi in there?
Listen, my starting five is Sue Bird.
But before you finish, we got to take a quick break.
It's about to be 9 o'clock.
We got to take. It's
over.
over.
That's why I said that. We ain't got a quick break. It's over. That's why.
So name your 5 real quick.
Sue Bird at the point guard. Mm-hmm. Diana Taurasi. Maya Moore. Candace Parker. And Lisa Leslie. That's my starting 5.
I don't like your 5.
You don't got to. You don't have a 5.
I don't like your 5. My 5 is better. But we got to end the show. We got to go. You're listening to Topics here on IBNX Radio. My name is Tone Taylor.
And I'm Chris Harris.
And we out.
You're listening to IBNX. IBNX Radio.